strike. You've got to give him that, man. You've got to credit him that. And likewise, Martinelli, the assist, man. Crazy game of football. Now that the emotions are settled, please let me know your thoughts on the game. Because on one hand, good resilience, good fight, good refusal to lose and succumb to what was impending in terms of getting a point / no points. Lovely to react. On the other hand, obviously, while it's lovely that we've ended our sort of barren run of not picking up 3 points and just, you know, a poor run in terms of all comps, we probably need to defend a lot better. We probably need to start games a lot better. And it's much like City, in my opinion. It was a tale of two halves, because the first half, yeah, we scored, but we weren't good. Second half, fantastic. Against City, I think first half we were fantastic. Second half, I don't know what was going on. And I do think some players against Aston Villa kind of went through the motions. I think watching the first half again, I need to watch the second half again. Odegaard was better than I thought, and you never really see him. But I just think we weren't really good enough on the transitions. Again, whether you can blame Zinchenko for losing the ball, there's several passages of play. I think, you know, I'll offer my opinions. I think Saliba had a quality game. He's a quality player. And I like the fact that he does that Van Dijk stuff of not necessarily diving in, but sometimes I think he's got to be a bit more aggressive, because we'll get into it against Ollie Watkins, for example. Shout out to Ramsdale for his save against Leon Bailey to tip that onto the crossbar as well. But it's lovely to win. Obviously, you saw Manchester City, you know, drop points against Nottingham Forest. We've got to go Forest away. So that shows you that there is no easy games in the Premier League. But we're just going to have to keep it moving. Good performance, but defense still looked very leaky. Villa could have easily punished us on numerous occasions. I'm not going to... Sorry about that, folks. I'm not going to cap. I think you're right, because there was a point. I think Jorginho had a good game. I think it's another game where Granit's kind of been underwhelming per se. There was a point where we looked out of gas in midfield, and I thought anytime Villa went forward, they could cause us issues, man. Tierney pack hitted as usual. You don't miss a beat. Shout out to Oliver and all the Aussies. Good morning, DG. Smash the like button, people, by the way. I was kind of underwhelmed at the signing of Jorginho, but he's come in and done a good job. He's done a good job, to be fair. The last 2 games he started, he's been arguably man of the match. He's done his thing, people. I can't lie to you lot. Again, we can criticize when people do poorly, but when they do well, you have to hold them up, and he's done quite well. Again, you know, in my opinion, if Partey's fit, either Zinchenko goes into midfield next to Thomas Partey, or Jorginho goes into that 8th position, really. I know he might not do exactly what Xhaka does, but when you look at it, you know, Jorginho's does well in terms of interceptions, but he is easily bypassed in midfield. I think him and Xhaka could have done a lot better for Coutinho's goal, the whole team, because they've cut us open in about 8-9 passes from Martinez all the way. I think Saka's not helped Benjamin White enough. Benjamin White's following 2 people. We're not close enough. Coutinho's giving Ramsdale the eyes. And I think Jorginho could have done better as well, same way with Granit. But when you look at it, Jorginho, whether it's a Martinez own goal or a Jorginho finish, he's been involved in that. He was involved in, obviously, Saka's goal as well. You know, it's him, Odegaard, and Benjamin White down the right-hand side before Benjamin White's header, cross is headed out by Mings and Saka smashed it in. Obviously, you know, I believe Benjamin White and Jorginho, there might have been a couple other players. They're involved in what won us the corner before. Obviously, Odegaard and Cole took it short, and Zinchenko scored a dramatic equaliser. So, from my point, if you know Jorginho's in the Xhaka position, he should be closer to the opponents. And in theory, a weakness of Jorginho's game isn't he's going to be the best defensively. Not that you rid him of it, but you kind of rid him of the defensive duties per se. Partey is obviously Thomas Partey. Again, whether it's Jorginho or Zinchenko, or maybe even potentially Jorginho and Zinchenko together at Leicester, I think it's got to be a consideration. On the other hand, I do think with Partey's absence and maybe absence against Leicester, I still think Xhaka has to play, if I'm honest with you. Off topic, do you still believe Chelsea will turn it around with Potter DG, or do they need to change manager? It's looking like the manager needs to go, really and truly. Off topic, like you said, again, there's a lot of transitional issues. I don't know if they'll give him 5 to 10 games next season, but boy, you need to put together results, because transitional period or whatever, Chelsea got some good players to pick from, and you're moving mad. So it is what it is. He's no Partey, but I mean, that's not Jorginho's fault. I want to see Jorginho Partey pivot, because Xhaka's been hiding recently. I'd love to see Partey Jorginho in the 8 just for those passes. First game, we ran in behind a lot and disrupted the low blocks. Lovely to see we're learning somewhat how to combat that then, my guys. Smash the like button. This team showed character yesterday for finding way late in the second half to get a vital 3 points away to Aston Villa. We need to start defending better and stop making stupid schoolboy mistakes. I think everyone can see that. When Partey returns, Jorginho should replace Xhaka. Jorginho, man of the match for me. Chat agrees. We just needed the W. It's been a while, Sacco, man. Jorginho for me is the man of the match as he was doing his job with the defending when necessary, and when he got on the ball and was setting Saka and others forward. Gotta be a shame if Tierney leaves in the summer, but it is what it is. Maybe Tavares can come back reborn. I mean, if Tavares can't come back learning how to defend and learning how to be better in the final third and just how he retains and passes the ball over 90 minutes, let's make a profit, man. Thoughts on the Fabio Vieira cameo? It was lovely to see him celebrate along with Martinelli. Lovely to see him get an assist. And I think first 10 minutes of him coming on, 5-10 minutes, maybe an exaggeration. He was a bit quiet, but he got into it really. On one hand, you know, I don't think there's an opportunity to really start him at this moment in time. I think he needs to do things a bit quicker. I think he needs to improve physically. I think I can understand why Mikel Arteta continues to play Xhaka, whether his form is necessarily there or not. But at the same time, when people's form is shaky, whether it's Fabio Vieira, Zinchenko back in midfield, Jorginho and Thomas Partey, maybe that's something. I think long-term Smith Rowe could play in that Xhaka role, my guy. But right now, Smith Rowe needs to get fit and stay fit. I did think, come on. I was looking at Arteta like, come on, man. Give Smith Rowe some charity minutes today, man. Even Reece Nelson, where it didn't happen. It might be time to do the Trossard 9 thing, maybe, but I don't see Mikel Arteta, at least maybe off the bench, but I don't see him starting, definitely not against Leicester, in my opinion, where ironically, it's probably one of the best games to do it based on how, pardon me, they defended against Man United today after they kind of fell off. I don't think you're going to see Martinelli through the 9, and I don't think you're going to see Trossard through the middle anytime soon, but you know, with Jesus not got a return date, with Eddie Nketiah looking a bit tired in every game he plays, it's got to be something, really. I think Trossard kind of went through the Martinelli thing down the left. I think you've all seen the clip surfaced online of one of the Arsenal coaches telling Trossard to hug the touchline as Zinchenko went inside. Obviously, Trossard can be a 1v1 demon and take his fullback out wide. But in the modern day, you have to be an inside forward. And Trossard's game is around playing in tight spaces, linking up, playing short 1-2s. And I think he was quite unlucky with the positions he was receiving the ball and the opportunities in areas to really go at his opposite number and take him on, really and truly. But if this is the way we're playing, this is what we have to get on with it, man. Tavares can't play in our setup. Cash him in for 25 million, cash in Lokonga. What's Lokonga even doing though, man? Really and truly. Shout out to Maitland-Niles. Maitland-Niles did all right in the based on the highlights that I've watched. I didn't watch the full 90. In the highlights of Southampton's 1-0 victory against Chelsea. Lovely strike by James Ward-Prowse. Lovely, I don't want to say goal line clearance, but important block from Ainsley Maitland-Niles to deny Sterling. He had quite a good game, and maybe with a managerial change, you know, Maitland-Niles can put himself in the shop window either to have a future at Arsenal. I don't quite think that's going to happen. So just make us some money. But isn't his contract running down? Surely there's an option of another year in his deal, but isn't he leaving on a free? I thought the same as well, Social. I'm pretty sure. But, you know, it always comes out these players have another year. I don't know, man. But it'd be a shame to just let money walk out the door, really. This war is slapping, man. So, yeah, man, lovely thoughts. Keep them flowing, people. On that, keeping up with tasks, people, let me just add a timestamp to this. And let me just let me just touch on some thoughts in relation to this game. What's this? Is this, one sec. Yeah. All right, cool, people. So now if we kind of go through the game using the tactics board, one thing we need to do better on is the transitions, you know, because for both the goals, it really it's cheap goals, really. Fair enough, Zinchenko's lost the ball. He has to hold his hands up. And I'm not necessarily blaming anyone. Zinchenko's lost the ball, but could we do better as a team? Because obviously Cash has nicked it off him, and it's a lovely ball from Cash into Watkins. I think Saliba did well, and I can't call on Saliba to be aggressive, but I do think there's sometimes he's got to make a challenge or be a bit aggressive. Now, Ben White's caught out of position. No fault of Ben White. We've all been caught trying to go forward, really, and we're struggling to get back. Watkins has done very well. I think Saliba's done all he can to kind of stand him up. Advancing play a bit, it's kind of progressed into the box. From we've got in the box, there's not much Saliba can do there, really, because you make a wrong tackle, it's a penalty. Maybe he could block the angle, close the angle down a bit better. I'm not too sure. And again, not necessarily to scale, but Watkins has shown why he's a street smart, very experienced striker. He's cut across Ramsdale and he scored. So maybe Saliba could have done better. Maybe we could have got bodies back better. Clearly, Zinchenko could have done better in terms of retaining the ball. Maybe we could have, you know, when Zinchenko's lost the ball, it looked like he wanted to take Cash down. Maybe could have pulled him down, taking the yellow. Again, taking the sting out of opposition's attacks. probably something we've got to learn how to do, people. So we let ourselves down. As I said, Jorginho was involved in quite a lot down the final third. If you remember, quite a few players, I believe Odegaard, Ben White are all involved. If you remember, Benjamin White's put a cross into the box. Mings has headed it straight into the path for Saka. He's rifled it into the net, shown we can score goals when we get forward. You know, when Ben White gets into the final third, we've got a new layer there. So we've done well to hit back, people. We've conceded 2 goals unnecessarily. We probably could have managed the game a bit better. We probably didn't need to win it in dramatic circumstances, even though I praise the character of the team and all of these things. To a degree, it is about how you're playing when you're at your worst. And I do think this game showed the good, bad, probably ugly, and the amazing about Arsenal. So, yeah, we have to hold our L for that. At 2-2 is terrible, really, because, again, really, it's about 8-9 passes from Martinez into midfield and so on and so forth. I'm not going to cap. I think Saka could get back. I think our midfield is outnumbered, out of sorts, sorry. Kamara's played it in behind. Benjamin White's been done. He's 2 against 1. He's played in behind him. Obviously, Xhaka's been done by the dummy from Buendia. Again, advancing play a bit because by now it's probably advanced into the box, people. Xhaka's been done by the dummy by Buendia, and it's expert. Like I said, I can't lie. From a purist point of view, you got to admire the goal. It's something straight off the training ground. From an Arsenal perspective, it's terrible to concede, but it's very easy. And again, on the transition, we've got to do a lot better, really. Again, it's fallen to Coutinho. He's slightly giving Ramsdale the eyes, and he slotted it into the near post. We've let ourselves down, and I can't lie. Then I'm starting to think it's not necessarily going to be our day. Obviously, we've made it 2-2 at a vital time. We've gone back to set piece FC. Zinchenko's obviously it's fallen to him outside the area. He's found the near post, people, and done quite well. Lovely mentality. Lovely for him to make up for his mistake or atone for his error. Martinelli and Fabio did hit them on the counter attack and obviously score. Obviously, Jorginho again. It's simple, but what I liked about Jorginho, he's screaming at Martinelli to release that pass, people, into him. He's done that. I know he plays for Italy, but he's Brazilian. He's got a Brazilian last name, and he showed the Bandulu-ness. Obviously, it's a lovely. It's hit the post, and it's lovely by Emi Martinez to head it in. Once a Guna, always a Guna. So we done well in that regards, people. And if I go to my notes again, people, as I said, I think for the first goal, sometimes Saliba's got to be a bit more aggressive. I think he allowed Watkins to kind of control that situation. Not made it easy for him, because I do think he did all he could, but made it a bit easy for him, really and truly. Once again, obviously, once he's got into the box, there isn't too much he could do apart from try and close down the angle and force Watkins as far away from goal as he can. But it's probably the writing on the wall. Big up Zinchenko, elite mentality, temporary L's, get back. He made a mistake and he made sure he atoned for it, people. I love the way Zinchenko plays, and I know you're brilliant technically, but sometimes just do the basics. I have to praise the whole team for their ability to recover, and get something out of this game and stop our barren run of results, really and truly. Lovely finish from Bukayo Saka as well. It was lovely to see Jorginho and White in the final third. Once again, from an Aston Villa perspective, I have to applaud their second goal. From an Arsenal perspective, we need to do a lot better, but it's utter filth. As a team collective error, down to Coutinho giving the eyes, Buendia's obviously dummying it, Camara playing a 2v1 on Benjamin White. From us, we need to do a lot better, but it's straight from the training ground. They've killed us in about 6, 7, 8, 9 passes, people. Lovely to obviously make it 2-2 at a vital time. Obviously, it was, lovely from Zinchenko to obviously score. Lovely from Jorginho to score. Lovely from Martinelli to add salt into their wounds, people. On another day, we need to do better. And it shows that we can be our best friends or worst enemies. If only we could have started the game a bit better, especially away from home, because as much as the Emirates has been a fortress, we've been good in terms of big games. We've been bloody brilliant by Arsenal perspective, people, in the last few years away from home, big games or not, even games that have gone away from us, people, even games we haven't necessarily been at our best, really. Leeds, Man United, Southampton, Brighton, Wolves, Chelsea, various different games with various different results and various different opinions. Fundamentally, you want to get the 3 points first, innit? Everything else is secondary. You get the 3 points first and you deal with everything after. So we got the 3 points. Lovely passion from Mikel Arteta on the sidelines, as always, but we've probably got to defend a lot better and make it less of an emotional contest, really. But fundamentally, it's nice to hit back in the game, innit? Smash the like button, folks. What are you lot's thoughts before